Folks, please allow me to sincerely apologize, as I was wrong, and let me tell you why here in just a second, because I've got some recent updates here that are just now breaking for today, and it says here that we can see that the Dow falls more than 300 points as traders await Federal Reserve rate hike. And you know, also we've got FedEx is laying off 10% of its officers and directors. So we've got more layoffs coming. So folks, I put up a video earlier today or maybe yesterday, depending on when I upload this video, and it was sharing some recent historical increases and some gains in the stock market according to the Dow and the S&P 500. But that was based on January 31st, end of day. And granted, these numbers were numbers that haven't been seen since January of 2019 as a 4-year high. But I want to clarify for those out there that are getting involved in investing, new to investing, or potentially looking to begin investing, especially in the stock market. It's a very volatile time, okay? And oftentimes not necessarily so much dependent upon the strength and the viability and the future potential of these companies and their profitability, and you know, how strongly shareholders and the economy in general feel about these companies, but more so about speculators playing games in the stock market, options traders, and literally using events like the Federal Reserve and their monthly meeting as a way to pump and or dump some of their shares for short-term profits. I'm not a short-term trader. I'm a long-term investor. So I just want to apologize for anybody who was watching that video and listening to the reports of how January ended, and I didn't clarify exactly, you know, what could potentially be happening with the stock market. With that being said, I do want to talk about what's actually happening today as the Dow falls more than 300 points, but more importantly, the jobs market, the labor market, and your ability to earn an income and maintain your employment. As we see here that the FedEx is cutting 10% of its officers and directors. Now, this is a big deal. It says that the corporate job cuts come as the shipping giant tries to reduce costs amid a cooling consumer demand. Yeah, so I mean, this makes sense. We're in a recession. Inflation's high. Job loss is happening left and right. And FedEx was already, you know, questionable last year. We know that FedEx Ground was experiencing some intense struggles and extreme scrutiny. If you guys remember, if you guys recall. So FedEx Corp on Wednesday said it would cut its officer and director team by 10% as part of a broad cost reduction effort that has reduced staffing at the delivering giant by 12,000 workers since June. Shares in FedEx rose 2.3% to 198.4% on the news, and FedEx, which has vowed to cut expenses by $3.7 billion this year, did not say how many positions would be affected by the new layoffs. Its overall workforce reductions account for a little over 2% of FedEx's 547,000 full-time and part-time workers reported for the year ended May 2022. Most of the cuts came through attrition and other means, according to a spokesperson, and FedEx already has temporarily furloughed workers as its trucking division, FedEx Freight, as the pandemic-fueled e-commerce delivery bubble deflates and recession threatens, joining transportation-focused companies ranging from delivery upstart Amazon.com and trucking company C.H. Robinson Worldwide to freight brokers, Uber Freight, and freight forwarding startup Flexport in announcing layoffs. So, folks, basically, what is this saying? What is it telling us? It's telling us that more job loss is on the horizon. We are not out of the woods yet, and transportation could potentially take a hit, as reports just recently come out that, you know, fuel prices are potentially going to be going up this spring, and may not come back down until 2024. So, what does that mean? That means that we need to be preparing. That means that we need to be diligent. That means that we need to be focused on viable plans and strategies in diversity, in security, and most importantly, cash flow. Interestingly enough, I was watching G.I. Justin, and he posted a video that I think you guys should check out. I'm gonna put a link in the description. Go watch it, because it gives some great insight behind businesses and what they're experiencing right now, and how it could ultimately have a positive and or negative impact to you and your business, your income, your paycheck, a variety of ways that it could impact and affect so many people today, with not necessarily a lot of solutions or alternatives available for people who are saying, all right, I'm struggling, I don't make a lot of money, my job is at risk, my job is on the line, or I've been laid off. More than likely my expenses have increased, my utility costs are going up, all the prices are going up, inflation is going up, food costs are going up, the price of eggs is going through the roof. Meanwhile, you've got companies out here trying to lay off their staff, reduce their workforce, and replace their workforce using technology and AI, like Walmart. Y'all need to go check out Squirrel Tribe. She posted a video yesterday showing the changes that these Walmart remodels are undergoing, and the changes and how they tie into the new implementations that companies like Walmart are going to be introducing with technology and artificial intelligence and AI and open AI and chat GPT, to replace the workers and also reduce the theft. The amount of cameras that they've put up is unbelievable, folks. Pay attention. So I don't think that they're necessarily watching for the reason you may think. I think they're watching for another reason, okay? And we can talk about that. If you guys want to know, I don't want to put that on this platform. I don't want this channel to get shut down. So if you want to talk about that, just follow me over on Patreon and we can discuss it. So the changes are coming, and Walmart's leading the charge, while Walmart is also, I need to show this to you guys. I need to show this to you guys so you can see Walmart is also sharing this technology with others. I take that back. They're not sharing it, they're selling it, because, you know, they're in the business to make money. Look at this. CEO Doug McMILLON went from unloading Walmart trucks as a teen to earning $25.7 million in compensation. They're in the business of making money, okay? And then Walmart strikes a deal with Salesforce to sell more of its tech to other retailers. They're in the business of making money. Like I said, businesses are going to support businesses. Remember what I said. Walmart is shopping an unexpected product. It's technology. So think about it like this. If Walmart starts it, that means all these others are going to follow suit. And all that means is that there's going to be more oversight. There's going to be more control. There's going to be more costs and more fees, but more importantly, there's probably going to be less jobs. Because if Walmart has the tech to replace people with AI and technology, using open AI and this open source and this chat GPT, then these other companies that are buying into this are going to do the same. I mean, we're even now to the point where even the Dollar Tree, even a racetrack gas station, has a self-checkout station where they don't need the people like they used to. They won't hire the people like they used to. They're going to lay off more people than they used to. And ultimately, this is going to further put a strain and a squeeze and more pressure on the working class poor and the middle class that we had discussed in previous videos about not being insulated and ultimately drowning and being economically wiped out by this recession and inflation. Changes in the industry, changes in industries across the board, changes in the stock market, real estate market, making home affordability just out of the question, but ultimately having a detrimental impact on their income while their costs are continuously rising all around them. You know, with organizations like the WEF, World Economic Forum, devising new ways and strategies of sustainability in life that doesn't include these people, okay? So We have to be smart, we have to be aware, we have to be strategic, and we have to be making plans in preparation, which again, GI Justin, go check him out, because not only is he a small business owner, but he's a U.S. Army veteran. He was a helicopter pilot. You know, he still is a licensed helicopter pilot, which maybe one day we'll do a video from an actual helicopter while he's flying it. But he actually is providing a ton of value and a ton of information on ways to prepare. Granted, from a survival standpoint, but he also touches on not just survival in a military setting, or maybe like an apocalyptic style or setting, or even from his experience of actual being his deployments in Afghanistan and other parts of the world, in these remote third world countries that are ultimately putting these soldiers in these situations, in these positions of real life, boots on the ground survival, but also from the standpoint of a business owner trying to survive today in this economy here in Northwest Florida in Destin, with a tourist-based economy. Another challenge that we are witnessing with some of these businesses locally suffering drastically, some of which we know personally, having to close down and go out of business because of the rise of costs and the steady increase of costs, with some people unknowingly saying on the other side of it, why don't these companies and businesses just lower their prices? Well, for some, like Walmart, these mega giant retailers that are paying their CEOs almost $26 million a year, they could. But for others, for these smaller businesses, these family-owned small businesses, they usually can't. They usually have started their business operating on debt, leveraged on debt, and very low margin. And then when you add that to the pandemic, the supply chain constraints, inflation, the recession, global conflict, and everything else that has literally been like choking the life out of small business here recently, they literally can't. So we actually had some friends here that had a restaurant that closed down because they could no longer afford it. And over the course of almost 2 years, they never made a profit. And all they did was pay out of pocket to get it started, and to pay their staff, and to pay their vendors, and they never turned a profit. Meanwhile, their costs continuously climbed, which ultimately put them in a situation where they were at a crossroads, and they said, you know, we have to make a choice, otherwise we're going to lose everything, more so than we already have, trying to make this happen. And so they had to close down. Employees lost their jobs, and so on and so forth. But the simple fact of the matter is, some would say, oh, well, their prices were too high, food was too expensive, yada, yada, yada. But that's just a product of the economy. And they still didn't turn a profit. Not because they were wasteful in their spending, but because the costs were so high. They were trying to do their best to be competitively priced, but it wasn't enough. And being a smaller business, comment down below if you guys understand what I'm talking about, if you have any experience with this or you can relate. You don't necessarily have the power of these larger companies, these larger mega chains, these national chains, as far as the purchasing power and or the pooling resources of multiple locations, being able to support the overall corporation, overall company, when some are down, some are up. You know, if you're just a one-man operation, a one-man show, or just one store or whatever it may be, if it's down, it's down. There's no other stores out there. There's no other portions of the company that are going to be able to support and supplement the loss and the low revenues and ultimately no profits that your one store has. Which, again, my prediction for 2023 was more of the same, but my strategy for 2023 was diversity, security, and cash flow. So if I'm a small business, I want to have diversity in the ways that my small business can generate revenue, ultimately profit. Even, you know, I don't want to put people down the wrong path, but if you have a non-profitable business, but it maintains cash flow, at least you have a leg to stand on. But I want to have the ability to have diversity in my income sources, and we can discuss this. If you guys need help, information, tips, strategies, ideas, whatever, contact me. Info in the description. Diversity in my income producing opportunities, security to make sure that stays safe, because the banks may not necessarily be the safest place to put it. And then the cash flow is huge, because, you know, even if, like I said, even if you are not extremely profitable for a short period of time, having the cash flow can help get you by, as well as the security portion. If you were to face a security breach, maybe like a cyber attack, a Bank of America or Zelle or Wells Fargo stealing money out of your bank account or anything like that, and you have the cash flow, then you can replace that in the meantime while you work to get that problem rectified and corrected and solved. So again, more of the same. My prediction for 2023 is, in this economy, this economic crisis, is more of the same. But in order to survive this and push through and come out the other side better than we went in, diversity, security, and cash flow is huge. And we can talk about crypto. We can talk about cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, XRP, Ripple, other investment opportunities. We can talk about central bank digital currency and its likely introduction here soon, and what it could mean for a lot of people and their money moving forward. I'm up for the discussion and conversation. If you guys are interested, let me know. Comment down below. If there's enough interest, I will be sure to make those videos. Until next time, folks, you guys take care, be safe. I'll see you real soon.